Now I'm about to discuss the different types of organizational structures. Let's start first with functional organizational structure. A functional org structure is one of the most common org structures. Under this structure, the organization groups employees according to a specialized or similar set of roles or tasks. While functional structures operate well in stable environments where business strategies are less inclined to change or dynamism, the level of bureaucracy makes it difficult for organizations to respond to change in the study market. Some of its features are each worker receives instructions not only from one superior but also from a group of specialists. Staff specialists are given the authority to decide and do things in a limited way. The advantages of having a functional org structure is that it allows employees to focus on their role, encourages specialization, and is easy scalable in any sized company. Functional departments arguably permit greater operational efficiency because employees with shared skills and knowledge are grouped together by functions performed. Each group of specialists can therefore operate independently with management acting as the point of cross-communication between functional areas. The disadvantage of a functional structure is that the different functional groups may not communicate with one another, potentially decreasing flexibility and innovation. Functional structures may also be susceptible to tunnel vision, with each function perceiving the organization only from within the frame of its own operation. Next is the divisional or multidivisional org structure. In this structure, your company groups workers into teams based on the products or projects that meet the needs of a certain type of customer. An example of this is a bakery with a catering operation might structure the workforce based on the key clientele, such as a wedding department and a wholesale retail department. The division of labor in this kind of structure ensures workers making similar products can achieve greater efficiency and higher output. As with all organizational structure types, the divisional structure offers distinct advantages and disadvantages. Generally speaking, divisions works best for companies with wide variance in product offerings or regions of geographic operation. The divisional structure can be useful because it affords the company a greater operational flexibility. In addition, the failure of one division does not directly threaten the other divisions. In a multidivisional structure, subsidiaries benefit from the use of the brand and capital of the parent company. Some disadvantages of this structure include operational inefficiencies from escaping specialized functions. Finance personnel into one division do not communicate with those in other divisions. Disadvantages of the multi-divisional structure can include increased accounting and tax implications. Next is the flatarchy or horizontal org structure. A flat organizational structure attempts to disrupt the traditional top-down management of most companies. Management is decentralized, so there is no everyday boss. Each employee is the boss of themselves. This works well for small companies because work and effort in a small company are relatively transparent. This does not mean that employees do not have superiors and people to report. Just that decision-making power is shared and employees are held accountable for their decisions. The major advantages of a flat org structure are more control, better communication, and quicker decision-making. For example, employees in a small company with a flat org structure may have more control over their work. Employees in a flat org structure can communicate more readily and make changes much more quickly. Less bureaucracy is involved because there are fewer employees making the decisions. The advantages of a taller organizational structure are greater specialization and the strength of management in numbers. Employees in flat structures, however, may have multiple bosses, which can lead to role conflict. These divergent goals may confuse and frustrate the subordinate employee. A flat organizational structure may also hinder a company's growth. Moreover, companies with tall organizational structures are less adaptable to change. One procedural change can be expensive and affect thousands of employees. Decision-making may also be extremely slow in a tall organizational structure. Next is the matrix organizational structure. The matrix org structure is a combination of two or more types of organizational structures. The matrix organization is the structure uniting these other org structures to give them balance. In a matrix management, the organization is grouped by any two perspectives the company deems most appropriate. Common organizational perspectives include function and product, function and region, or region and product, in an organization grouped by a function and product. Proponents of matrix management suggest that this structure allows team members to share information more readily across tasks boundaries, countering the silo critique of functional management. Matrix structures also allow for specialization that can both increase depth of knowledge and assign individuals according to their project needs. A disadvantage of the matrix structure is the increased complexity in the chain of command, when employees are assigned to both functional and project managers. This increase in complexity can result in a higher manager-to-worker ratio, which can in turn increase costs or lead to conflicting employee loyalties. It can also create a gridlock in decision-making if a manager on one end of the matrix disagrees with another manager. Blurred authority in the matrix structure can result in reduced agility in decision-making and conflict resolution. Network org structure. The network org structure is a newer type of organizational structure often viewed as less hierarchical, more decentralized, and more flexible than other structures. In this structure, managers coordinate and control relations that are both internal and external to the firm. The idea behind the network structure is based on social networks. Its structure relies on open communication and reliable partners, both internal and external. The network structure is viewed than other structures because it has few tiers, more control, and bottom flow of decision making. Proponents argued that the network structure is more agile compared to the other structure. Communication is less siloed and flows freely, possibly opening up more opportunities for innovation. Because the network structure is decentralized, it has fewer tiers in its organizational makeup, a wider span of control, and a bottom flow of decision-making ideas. This more fluid structure, however, can lead to a more complex set of relationships in the organization. For example, lines of accountability may be less clear, and reliance on external vendors can be quite high. These potentially unpredictable variables essentially reduce the core company control over its operational success. Next is the hierarchy org structure. The hierarchy model is the most popular organizational chart type. There are a few models that are derived from this model. In this org structure, employees are grouped with every employee having one clear supervisor. Organizations that use a traditional hierarchy structure rely on a vertical chain of command as the prime method of organizing employees and their responsibilities. This structure typically features multiple layers of management and are therefore prone to bureaucracy and the creation of silos that prevent cross-team collaboration. One of the several advantages are shown for using hierarchy org structure. It better defines levels of authority and responsibility, motivates employees with clear career paths and chances for promotion, and creates camaraderie between employees within the same department. The disadvantages can slow down innovation or important changes due to increased bureaucracy, and can make lower level employees feel like they have less ownership and can't express their ideas for the company. This part shows the other types of org structure. It is not commonly used, but several have used this for example, in divisional or using a matrix org structure. They use this type to ensure the flexibility and efficiency of their work. Other types include line and staff, product-based, circular, geographical, and others.